king of leeches is dead!
Sometimes, a moment is all that's needed. One of pride to bring lost hope. A moment earned by toppling one of the most vicious leeches to rule Nosgoth and decimating his clan. A chance that frankly doesn't come every day. After today, the Reaver threat is a crippled beast. Personally, I'd have preferred to take out the Deceivers and their sire. Their creeping and controlling ways are disgusting. But I'm off track. We'd done the impossible. Dumah was dead. Humanity had crawled its way back from the brink. And how had we done it? Knowledge. Whether magic or science, it was lost knowledge that gave us a chance. It would be knowledge we would need to finally destroy the vampires. And perhaps one day see the sun again. The diverse factions of humanity were united as one against the threat of eternal enslavement under the vampires. We stood shoulder to shoulder and back to back with our allies.
Unclean! The stink of undead lingers on this lying harlot. She is tainted, corrupted, impure. To consort with the vampires is to mark oneself forever after, to lose one's very soul.
Though some were less willing than others. I am Liese, Alchemist of the Red Sisters, and Dumah's fall was only the start of my battle.
I do not like the mood in the crowd. She is speaking to a lot of resentful people.
I'm aware of that, Klaus.
Then I hope you have come with a convincing counter-argument.
Yes, it's called common sense.
Yeah, common sense. In my experience, Liese, few enough people have an abundance of that.
Does anyone here doubt we did good by killing Dumah? By seeing Clan Dumah broken? Anyone? Even you, Vexa?
You consorted with a vampire in order to accomplish it.
The vampire offered me a chance to destroy Clan Dumah and I took it. I didn't notice anyone complain at the time either when opportunity was ripe.
Others were but soldiers in a war. You, Liese of the Red Sisters, you were the one who made a deal with the devil. The ends do not justify the means.
All easy to say once it's said and done. But now we have a chance to put the leeches on the run for a change. If one clan can be decimated, they all can be.
Just what are you saying, Liese?
I'm saying that we may have the means to destroy them right now. Each of our factions has secrets and knowledge unknown to the others. Allies we may be, but we don't share that knowledge with one another. If we all knew each other's secrets, no vampire could stand against us.
And now you want us to give up our secrets? Never! The prophets will never agree to this monstrous thing.
Well, Liese might have a point there, really. It's just...
Would you want to give up your crossbow secrets to the Watchers? Or would they give their marksman training to you?
Well, probably not, but...
Then this is a fool's errand.
Why? Because we cannot get over our own sense of privilege long enough to rid ourselves of this scourge once and for all?
You overstep your bounds, Liese. You do not speak for all your sisters in this matter.
Illustra, leader of my sisterhood. Not the original, of course, but every leader of the Alchemist takes that name, wearing the ceremonial mask once worn by the first one. I think this one is Illustra the 7th, but I'm not entirely sure.
I will not sanction our secrets. The secrets my ultimate predecessor wrested from exiled mankind and wasted on the unworthy. Let others fight with what they have. Humanity stands united regardless.
But it's not enough!
If you truly feel like that, then I suggest you take your offer to a faction that has nothing to lose. Like perhaps the Drowning Men. Those armoured convicts might listen to you.
No one will listen to you, harlot. No one.
Ah, well, that went better than I had expected.
Shut up, Klaus.
Nine. I am being serious. Some of them actually thought you had a good idea.
Just some soldiers. Low-ranking footmen.
Liese. You thought you could convince the leaders? Most of them have much to lose in status if they gave their secrets away. You'd never convince them directly. Vexa's ranting about purity was just the excuse they needed not to listen to you.
Maybe.
Well, I think then this is a point where we bow our heads, fall in line, and forget the entire idea.
Yes, I guess it is.
But we are not going to do that, are we?
No, we're not. We go to Meridian.
Meridian? Why?
I'm just following Illustra's advice. Let's go talk to the Drowning Man. There were many factions of humanity, each with their own talents and methods of killing vampires. I was a member of the Red Sisters. Klaus belonged to the Iron Guard. The Drowning Men were yet another faction, but theirs was one with a dark past. Once they had been the residents of a prison island, both the convicted and the jailers. Surviving the onslaught of a vampire attack, they were united as one, and so were born the Vanguard, the Drowning Men of Meridian. Few vampires could break through their shields, nor withstand the force of their axes. They did indeed have little to lose, and a lot to gain. It would be a start. The leader of the Drowning Men was a reclusive man by the name of Balthazar. He was seldom seen outside the ranks of his men and rarely spoke with any other faction leader. The overcrowded streets of Meridian were the only place to look for Vanguard. When we arrived, however, they proved strangely elusive.
No, not in here. Says they haven't been in for... just freaking stinking air in this city. It's like breathing shock.
So, what have you got there?
Ha! Never pass up a grog from the Red Raven.
Give me that booze. Ah, that's awful.
Then give it back, Sidia.
No chance.
Tapster did give me one good tip, though. We wanna find the Vanguard officers, and one of them is still in the city. Goes by the name Aegis. We ought to find his usual hangabout in the old smuggler's den.
Grasping at straws. All right, come on. Let's go down to where the scum call home.
Come on, you can do better than that. Show a bit of bloody backbone, you thugs.
Please stop. We won't operate round here no more. Just please stop.
No, matey. You don't get how this works. I don't give a damn what you do or don't do if you rob or rape. You want to live? You sign up with the Drowning Men. Simple as that.
What? You mean you're just conscripting?
I'm a one-man press gang, mate. Sign up with us or I dump whatever carved up pieces is left of you into the sea. Let the Raharbin have a tasty treat. Either way is entertaining to me.
Alright, just don't hurt us.
Wise decision made. Now you crooks be good little boys and come along with me. Oi, show a bit of dignity. You're vanguard now.
That is an interesting recruiting technique. Iron Guard has a hire or accept volunteers.
Plenty of scum on the streets with energy to put to better use. And who the hell are you?
My name is Klaus, and this here is my companion Liese. You would not happen to be Aegis, would you?
Depends. Who's asking?
We've got business to talk about with Balthazar.
You want to talk to Balthazar? Ha! You'll be waiting a long time. He don't see no one he don't want to.
How do we make him want to see us?
You don't. Now get lost. I've got a bunch of new recruits to shepherd along.
But... we follow him.
Follow him. Why?
I won't be stopped by every stubborn attitude we come across. Come on. We covertly followed the big man and his line of reluctant recruits down to the docks. From here we could see the looming and crumbling walls of the old fortress of Sommerdam. I wasn't exactly sure what I intended to accomplish by following. It was gut instinct more than anything else. Aegis began loading his prisoners onto a barge moored up at the dock, where they were put together with other new recruits. Then he took a moment to pull off his hood and wipe his sweating face.
Well. What do we have here?
What is it?
You see that mark on his face?
Looks like a skull. What about it?
Follow my lead, Liese. I've got an idea.
Klaus, what are you doing?
I knew the Vanguard were recruiting for pirates, but I did not think they'd stoop so low that they'd let a member of the Ghosts join the ranks.
Ah! You sorry bastard! How long have you been watching?
Long enough, pirate. You know, there are a lot of people I know who lost a lot of good men to that gang. They'd like nothing better than to string up a ghost by the nearest tree.
So, you're gonna blackmail me? Is that it?
I prefer the term forceful negotiation. You will take us to have a little chat with Balthazar, and I will forget why you've taken to wearing that face-concealing hood. Do we have a deal?
And what's stopping me from dividing you down the middle right now?
Feel free to try, Vanguard.
Well, do we have an agreement or not?
Get on the boat before I change my mind.
I am so glad we could come to a mutual understanding.
Don't ever turn your back.
You just earned yourself a death warrant as soon as he speaks to a few of his Vanguard friends.
I don't think he has any friends.
What is this ghosts gang you were talking about? I've never heard of it.
They were pirates. They used to raid up and down the southern coast for food, gold, anything of value.
So, the drowning men take in pirates, brigands, and deserters all the time.
Not like the ghosts, they don't. Scum of the seas, rapists, murderers, cannibals.
You're not serious.
According to some rumors. And I will not put it past them. He cannot afford to let that bit of knowledge get spread around.
Knowledge is power. ship left harbour, travelling west along the coast but staying just out of sight of the shore. It wasn't wise to be caught out in the open within the flight distance of the Razielum. Although with that clan's recent rebellion from their fellows, I wondered if the practice was necessary anymore. My thoughts returned to that vampire, Iskandar. He had defied the will of his peers in order to do what he had thought was necessary. I had called him disloyal, yet here I was doing approximately the same thing. Strange to feel like a hypocrite for something said to a leech. I wondered what had become of him now. Perhaps he'd been hunted down by the other clans and butchered. Perhaps he had escaped and was holed up in some forgotten dark cave. Oddly, I was not sure which I would have preferred for him. One less vampire was one less vampire. Still, there was something unique in him that it seemed a shame to snuff out. I shouldn't be thinking thoughts like these. Vampires are a blight, and until the last of them are dead, the human race will never be safe. That was the simple and sad truth of the matter.
I have never been this far west. Where are we?
No idea. We sailed past the remains of Freeport some time ago.
Don't you alchemists or hunters do any exploring at all?
We're too busy fighting.
Ain't no excuse for that kind of ignorance.
At nightfall, we rounded a large unknown cape and began to sail northeast up a wide but sluggish river. I didn't recognize the land along either bank, nor could I guess which vampire clan it might belong to. Aegis was right. We were ignorant. Ignorant of so much. That was the problem.
Here we are. The Lake of Tears. From here on out, keep quiet.
There's not another boat in the water, and we are miles from shore. Who could hear us?
You ain't never seen a harbin vampire before, have you?
I cannot say that I have.
Then a word of advice. You keep mum above water, and you might get by without him noticing.
Vampires cannot swim. They can't even touch water without being burned.
Fine. You want to go about the waters talking your head off, be my guest.
Klaus, I think we should do as he says. Neither of our faction knows the abilities of the Rahabim, after all.
Summer swimming vampires, what nonsense. Right?
On and on we sailed in silence, following the shore of this massive quiet lake further and further north. The air grew very cold. Finally, we came in sight of the end of our journey. A low set of ruins that stood like weathered sticks on a rocky plateau overlooking the lake.
Here we are. End of the line.
And what is this place?
Ever heard of Wasserbund?
Only as a small spot on old maps. Is this where your Balthazar ended up?
Not quite, lass. Direct your gaze up yonder.
Following his pointing finger, at first I saw nothing. Just a towering set of dark cliffs to the west, forming a buttress of the mighty Erebus Mountains, the backbone of Nosgoth. Then I saw it, seeming to almost leap out at me from that cliff face, a towering construction set into the rock.
What the hell is that thing?
It was as large, if not larger, than the ruins below it, surrounded on all sides by even darker spires, a monstrous, looming fortress in the shape of a skull. The sight of it froze my blood.
Ain't never seen this before, I wager. Feast your eyes on a holy place, the fortress of one of the Guardians, the home of the Mentalist himself, and the Propter's retreat.
Napraptor. Oh, I knew that name well enough. There were few who did not know all the names of the revered guardians, those martyred saints, the Circle of Nine. Long ago, the world had been protected from the vampires and nurtured by 9 wise sorcerers. My own red sisters revered one of these saints, Nosgoth the Alchemist. There was also Bane the Druid, Malik of the Seraphim, Mortanius the Necromancer, Azimuth the Planer, Dejul the Energist, Mobius the Time Streamer, Ariel of Balance, and Napraptor the Mentalist. It was said that they had been the protectors of hope for all mankind, before one by one they had been hunted down and butchered by the vampire's emperor and would-be god, Cain. It was also said that Napraptor had been the first to fall.
End of the line, maggots! Get up and let's see if the Vanguard can't make something out of ye! Oi, oi. What's this then?
Is there something wrong, Vanguard?
There's supposed to be a caravan ready to take us. I don't see a single soul on that dock and... Fucking hell! Back! Get back, you soft bastards!
I knew what was happening long before these press gang thugs did. They were coming. The smell of those decaying bodies they thought so beautiful gave them away.
For the glory of Maokaya, rip them apart!
Scheiße! Summoners!
Back! Get back on the boat!
There are too many!
Come on, vampires! Come on, let's see you try a taste of me axe before me blood!
It was hopeless. The ambushing leeches had us outnumbered 4-1. The inexperienced and panicked thugs were torn apart, leaving only a handful of them to stand along with us as we tried desperately to reach the boat and shove off from shore.
You are not going anywhere, blood sacks! Nowhere! Ah, good! A woman! A pretty one, too! I need a new face.
Get the fuck away from me!
Don't be like that! You will serve us well once you have been caught.
Bullseye!
Just as the thugs were about to break ranks and run, rescue came. At least 24 Vanguard, thickly armored with raised shields and axes ready to throw. They were on the vampires before the Milkian summoners could form a rear defense. In the lead of their group was a giant of a man, head and shoulders above the rest of them, hacking his way through the vampires as if he were cutting grass.
Come on, skin takers! Are you really only good for rare bushes? Face a warrior, one-on-one! Well, lass, you wanted Balthazar. Darry be.